You are watching Newspaper Review on Niger Live TV. My name is Barbie Mkparu. Don't forget, Newspaper Reviews, your daily press review, as we will be checking out stories making the headlines. Let's quickly begin with The Nation newspaper. On The Nation, we see coup plot suspects to get speedy trial from Monday. That's quite a story available, since in regards to, we had gotten stories that some high-profile Nigerians are planning a coup against the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. I mean, it's a whole lot going on. Do well to read through details of that story as it is available in the paper. We have another story here. Banks, financial institutions answerable to FCCPC. That's a ruling from the court. So banks and all financial institutions are answerable. They can be probed and audited at any point in time by the FCCPC. Do well to read through details of that story as it is available in the paper. Let's head on quickly to the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper, ex-finance minister Edu resigned on health grounds. That's from the presidency. I mean, the ex-finance minister's resignation has sparked controversy. I mean, so many people having questions, having their views on the reason for his resignation. But now the presidency is clearing the air, stating that he had resigned. The ex-finance minister had resigned due to health-related situations, of course, health grounds. Do well to read through that details of that story. Let's head on to the Punch newspaper. We're going to be quick, as we will be taking top stories on a few of the papers available. The Punch. Suspense. This is in regards to the 2027 general elections. Suspense as Supreme Court delays PDP ADC verdict. Yes, there's tension, there's calm, and then suspense, as well as people murmuring. This is all in confusion to the reason why the Supreme Court has delayed its verdict on the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and African Democratic Congress (ADC). Do well to read through details of that story. We have a story here. Let's check on the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian, we see debate over security strategy as Senate demands rescue of 416 captives. You know, we had giving updates in relation to this rising insecurity and terrorism attacks, insurgency growing nationwide, where the state governors had come up with their own 2Ps, their own points in regards to how well to curb insecurity in Nigeria, where they mentioned of state policing, which the IGP had agreed to, and moved on to submitting the pages of some paperwork to the Senate and also House of Reps to look into state policing. But now we see that the debate have increased, even in the Senate. Our Senate is now demanding for the rescue of the 416 captives. This happened in Borno State, Nigeria. Do well to read through details of these stories as available in the paper. We have Tinubu makes fresh appointments in education agencies. That's a welcome development on the path of the president of Nigeria, and the huge congratulations to all those that have been appointed, as we now have more persons who are holding positions in the educational sector of Nigeria, of course. Do well to read through details. Let's head on to the Leadership newspaper. The Leadership newspaper, Nigeria's ambassador designates to Algeria, Lele dies at 50. Well, quite a sad story right there. I mean, it's really a tragic one. I mean, we don't ever know when death comes calling. And we also cannot really say when exactly it's the right time or the right age for a person to pass. We really do mourn the loss of Nigeria's ambassador. I mean, it's quite a sad one there. May his soul rest peacefully in the bosom of the Almighty. More stories available in the paper. Kurt fixes April 27 for trial as 6 PO alleged coup plotters deny charges. Now, well, like I initially mentioned, there are high-profile Nigerian politicians who have been identified or who have been alleged as coup plotters. At this point, they are denying those charges. So from Monday, which is April 27, they will be going to court for trial. If they plead guilty or not guilty, we would have to find out. I mean, Niger Live TV is always here to keep you updated, so we will be back with that story. Let's head on to more newspapers. We have on the Nigeria Tribune. Rising price of Jet's A1 fuel. FG offers succor to airlines, suspends the collection of charges and others. You know, there was a threat from the domestic airlines mentioning that they would want to shut down, you know, from Monday 20th, but due to the increment in the fuel prices, you know, where they mentioned that they now buy 3,300 naira per liter, you know, a whole lot of stories going on. So from the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, as well as some other top government functionaries, had met with these airlines, and we now see that to make things easier and to provide solace to them, they would now suspend collection of charges. FG would now suspend collection of charges from these airlines, as well as other charges, you know, to ensure that the heat is not so much felt on them. That's the story there. Let's head on to This Day newspaper, shall we? This Day newspaper, we see Wike Makinde mark no fate as Apex Court reserves verdict in PDP ADC crisis. Yeah, a story that I earlier reported. You know, there's now a pause. Every person is pausing. Everybody is it's currently in suspense. You know, as a result of the Apex Court, the Supreme Court's delay in its verdict in regards to the PDP ADC crisis. Whole lot going on in the political space. I mean, it's expected the 2027 general elections are just around the corner. All right, more stories. Senate directs military audit manhunt for perpetrators of killings in Borno and Benue states. Well, a whole lot. That's a good move from the Senate, as they now direct military audit manhunt for perpetrators of the killings in Borno and Benue states in Nigeria. We're tired of waking up to all of these harsh stories, all of these sad stories that are always flying here and there. We will conclude with a New Telegraph. So let's check out the New Telegraph newspaper. On the New Telegraph, we have a story here that Senate demands security overhaul after Boko Haram kills 16 soldiers in base attacks. Quite a sad one. I had in the last newspaper review we did with Glad, I mentioned that at this point the terrorists are going beyond. They're not even afraid of the military anymore. They're not afraid of the military anymore. They're now taking on their attacks to even the military. It's not just about the vulnerable civilians. It's not just about those without weapons. They're now even going to those with weapons to tell you that they are beginning to gain so much ground in the country that they have little or no fear of anything happening to them at this point. There's no fear at all, which is really, really bad, because they are slowly gaining a whole lot of grounds. So we're pleading. We always come to urge the government to take preventive measures. To ensure that these killers, these terrorists, be brought to book. We got information that they were repentant terrorists. We don't know what Nigerians are still confused on what that means. But please, it's really bad. Always waking up to one killing here, one adoption there, going on in the country. It is really depressing to read. But as well-meaning Nigerians, do well to read through details of that story, as it is available in the paper. And the final story here: federal government arraigns alleged coup plotters and defendants pled not guilty. So a whole lot of stories available that is still in regards to the alleged coup plotters against the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration. Do well to read through all of these very interesting stories so that you would keep yourself informed, because information is power. And that concludes the news on this hour. You have been watching Newspaper Review with me, Barbie Mkparu, on Niger Live TV. Do well to stay glued with us, as we will be bringing more news during Globe in View. Thank you so much for watching.